Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome into Coach Baber's office here at the Icolano Petty Football Wing. And, Coach, it's Christmas come early for you and football coaches across America with the early signing period, first now with new regulations in the game, and big part of your recruiting class in and signed here before Christmas. How does it feel to have that part of the work done?
You know, new ground, 2/3 of the class is in. I think the early signing period is something that's going to help Syracuse University. It gives us an opportunity to lock up some guys that maybe some other schools will be trying to steal later on in the recruiting process. I think also with the early signing period, it gives those seniors, some kids are good juniors, but they don't have great tape as a junior. They're just okay. And then those guys that really turn it on late in their senior year, those guys have a tendency to come to more schools like us than going to the more traditional schools, because those guys are normally done with their 2018s and moving on to 2019s already.
You in particular and your staff identify as strong recruiting evaluators, talent evaluators, in terms of being in early on some players. And we've seen lots of examples of players that are on the current team that then got interest from power programs late in the process. With the new regulations and allowing to get some in early, how does it maybe help you close the gap a little bit in terms of improving your talent here?
It's going to help. It gives us, if you're a good evaluator and you can get in early on young men and build up that trust factor, it's going to give you an opportunity to get some guys that maybe you wouldn't be able to hold on to at the end. And I think we are a staff of really good evaluators, and hopefully that'll continue in the future.
So one of the themes around the program, obviously, and a lot of programs would say this, but particularly here, you're looking to get more talent in general and to add depth. And we can get to how you address that in a bit, but going right to a specific need, 3 senior linebackers started every game for you basically this year, and you went a junior college route there to kind of fill the gap in the short term.
We went after a junior college linebacker. We have some junior college linebackers in the program from last year that played some different positions. They'll be up in their roles as well. But we also went after some really highly sought after early enrollee high school linebackers who will also have an opportunity to make a major impact for us.
Gives you an opportunity. A handful of these players will be in for spring ball. And that's not just for quarterbacks anymore, is it, in terms of the way they can develop?
No, we've got safeties, quarterbacks, linebackers. I'm probably going to miss a group somewhere. But to get in early and have an opportunity to truly learn the offense or the defense and play as a freshman, or even yet, if you end up redshirting that year, it gives you 5.5 years to get your undergraduate degree and your master's degree.
One of the players in that category would be a late grab for you right here on this early signing period day, and that's Chance Amy, a quarterback from Tyler, Texas. What sold you on him and him on the program?
You know, first of all, I don't like talking about individual guys, but Chance is really special. He was someone that we had targeted as our #1 quarterback coming out of the summer, and came up for a visit and went back home, and he decided to commit to another institution. I don't want to give him any ink. And he stayed committed for a long time, but we stayed after him, and he gave us an opportunity to come up late for us to show him one more time what we thought we had. And lucky to us that he decided that we were right. He changed his mind and decided to come with us, and we think we have a very, very good in Chance Amy.
All right, well, I'll hit a couple of the individuals here. Kadir White and Trill Williams, offensive lineman from Yonkers, defensive back from the Bronx. You've got, actually the other way around, but you've got guys that represent New York. You not just got New York people, but maybe some of the elite prospects in the state.
You know, we got 4 from New York. We also got a safety, Andre Cisco from IMG, and we got our first commit of the class, Gabe Haran. So we really feel like we did a nice job in state. We're always trying to start here. We're always trying to get the New York people first, and then we're going to work our way out. And my big thing always with in-state kids is that I want to get young men that have an opportunity to show up on the field and play and be a part of this family and contribute so other people from the state can come watch them play.
Yeah, Gabe's from Baldwinsville High School right down the road. And lastly, Coach, the idea that the recruiting period isn't over here. You'll still have the February signing period. So how do you address some that you may have some interest in that haven't signed yet, and what you're going after here with the remaining scholarships?
You know, it's kind of interesting. It's almost like the NFL draft, where you have the first day of that draft and you got all the high, and then you go to your second day of the draft. 2/3 of our class is in. 1/3 of our scholarships are still available. So now we get to regroup, have the Christmas holidays, go back, look at our board, and decide where we want to put our emphasis at. The young men that maybe didn't sign in this period, they get to go back and say, hey, I was being recruited by this school, they didn't sign me, they didn't have a real good reason for not signing me, and now maybe I don't like them as much as I thought I liked them. Maybe I need to go look for a different pond, so to speak, to swim around in. So it's going to be interesting. This is our first time, and everyone's first time. We really don't know how it's going to sift out, but it's going to be fun to see.
Well, deep breath for you here just for the holidays. I know you're right back in it, and you have a staff issue to address as well as Sean Lewis is on, and congratulations to him on a 10th assistant down the road. So maybe too early to ask, but you're starting to think about that, I'm sure, in terms of how you make those adjustments.
You know, absolutely. I look at it as, first of all, congratulations to Sean Lewis, first guy that I've ever brought up. I mean, first time I met him, he was a graduate assistant at Akron University, and he had never coached at a Division I school before, and now it's 6 years, 7 years later, and he's the head coach at Kent State, so kudos to him. I always look at this, when we lose coaches, I always look at it as an opportunity to change the dynamics of the staff, and I don't look at it as a negative, I look at it as a positive, and it really gets me excited. You talk about what gets me excited. When you lose people for the right reasons, for positive reasons, and now you get a chance to reshape, remold, be the potter, so to speak, on that clay, it gets exciting to me. So we've got some options. I'm going to keep my options close to the vest, but when we come out of this, I want us to be better than what we were going into it.
Well, as we sit here, there's a wall of jerseys right there opposite the camera that shows some of the NFL players you've been responsible for in part, and maybe there's more in this group here today, so best of luck, okay?
I think you may be right about that. Thank you so much, Matt.
All right, enjoy the holidays for what little breath you get, and for those of you in Orange Nation that want to learn more about the recruits, all the information you need is at Cuse.com.